Right, today we're going in to look at something quickly. This is Saturday afternoon. I've been busy doing bugger all day, procrastinating, playing, watching videos, being amazed by some musicians. But I thought I'd bring this camera in here to show you, because people ask stupid questions and they ask some clever questions, but there's always questions being asked. So one of the things I'm not doing today is actually grinding or paint stripping the roof, the actual ceiling section of the truck, because I have this beauty. Very old, very solid, diamond stitched, fits into the roof, nice roof lining. Loved this thing from day one, and the seat is black and goes with it, so these two are not getting changed. But I thought I'd show you this just so you understand why I'm not changing or actually prepping the roof once I start doing the interior of the body. Rest of it, obviously those jobs will get done. This lives here. And then the other thing, of course, that people know, and I've been asked once or twice by people, watchers, viewers, is the doors. They've already been blasted and done in etch primer. You'll see these welds. I don't know how long ago I did them, but the welds were where all the holes were. They still need to be finished. Down here, I need to drill those out on this side, and then on that side, you'll see I filled the holes, but I'll be putting new rivnets in there to mount the brand new mirrors that are somewhere in the stash. The rest of the parts, as you can see here, there's another gas pedal. It's not the one that's getting fitted. I'm actually fitting a different one that's missing a toe. That's sort of a nod toward my eternal flip-flop using, wearing, whatever you want to call it, habits. So yeah, let's get going and start on this interior, doing the interior of this cab. There's a lot of paint to come off, as you can see. A little bit complex. There's going to be lots of grabbing and hooking, I'm sure. The roof, I'll be doing everywhere where that roof lining doesn't sit, just these sections. And then where the speaker holes used to be, I welded those up many years ago, and hopefully once I put a skimmer filler over those, they'll be good to go. But yeah, let's get going.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey bud, you right?
Parcel for you.
What you got?
Dunno.
Heavy?
Ish.
Oh, I think I know what this is. This is the grinder that I killed when I was working on this thing yesterday.
Well, there you go.
How's that for eBay? All right, thanks a lot, man. Have a good weekend. Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
Don't work too hard.
All right. Working too hard. I've never worked hard in my life. All right. Thanks, bud. Cheers. That is the kind of service we get from our local postal guys. Home delivery in the true sense, because I left a note on the front door to say that I was at the back. These guys trust me. I trust them. They know where my safe hiding place is, but they also know that I'm working down the bottom of the garden. So they basically come through and hand deliver parcels. So this is the grinder, obviously, that's just come in now. And I'll open it in a minute and just let it spin and see what it sounds like. But yeah, life is so bloody good at times. We just don't always remember, and we don't always take time to realize that. But yeah, let's get going. Start cleaning up the inside of this cab. Right, we've unpacked it. It's 125 mil, claims 1200 watts. So let's see. Has variable speed, which is quite cool. So let's put it on to maximum. See how scary it sounds. to me. It doesn't sound as nasty as the one that I destroyed. That was just brutal. I didn't look before I threw it out what its power output was, but I'll be happy with that. It's 125 mil, so it's slightly bigger than what I normally work with. But there are times when you want a stronger machine with a slightly larger flap disc or even cutting disc, but primarily to me these are for grinding and for flap discs. So yeah, that can go on the shelf for now and stashed away for future reference, as in to be used when I need it. This one lives on the left hand side, so I know where to find it in the dark. That's what OCD does to you. You can walk into the shop despite it looking like a chaotic mess and pull out what you need. Interesting, it came with extra little brushes as well. Not brushes, but those little, whatever you call the bloody things. One's in the packet and one's out the packet, weirdly. Not sure why. I always keep the manuals. I just shove them up on a shelf here into a tray. We'll stick them in there. These little guys we will throw up there in the same box. And this is junk that can go out. But yeah, 32 quid instead of 20 pounds. Bit of a rip-off, in as much as I was stupid enough to have purchased it. But I can live with that. The hassle of taking an hour to go and fetch one, if there was one in stock, 10 miles there and back, yeah, I probably got my value for money from that, having it delivered. Back to the interior of the truck. Well, that's a different type of paint again. Something else behind here in brown. Don't know what it is. I'll lie on my back, get in there in a minute. This curve is quite interesting because it keeps grabbing the grinder, but that's just a matter of keeping my eyes wide awake and being alert. I'll also try it from the outside, see if that works. Maybe not. Awkward. So maybe standing up is the answer. Amazingly, 5 o'clock on the dot on Saturday afternoon. Roof is done. All of this. Doorways, inside. I'll clean this out tomorrow, I just can't be asked right now. Dash up there. Obviously, as I said before, we have a roof lining to go in a liner, so I'm not cleaning up where there's going to be no paint or anything to go. That has been a monumental task. Honestly, it's probably in part because of the fact that the last 2 grinder wheels that I used were cup shaped, and the last one I put a small one on because the one before that was dying. It really shook my hands apart on this last section, so much so that I almost just gave up, but I didn't. I thought just have to finish it. Obviously I've gone under the dash and all that, but after all the previous work that I'd put in, and I'm thinking of sort of sanding things down, doing a lot of prep, I've gone over all of that and torn it apart. But there you go. I don't know if you remember, historically there was a tear on that side that I welded up. I also blanked out the radio hole that had been cut in with an angry badger. I thought that was a pretty decent welding job that I did there, welding in and then obviously finishing it back. I won't put a radio back in because I simply can't be bothered, in as much as I don't care for them at all. They're okay to have if they're stuck under the dash, under the seat, out of sight. But for the moment, tomorrow I'll come and clean this thing up, start the compressor up, blow everything out. The next stop is probably using a DA sander over all the surfaces that I've already been on, and taking that down to the next level of clean and smooth. And then a bit of paint, I suspect, primer and sealers and all sorts of clever stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. That's the end of the cab, bare metaling. Obviously there's a whole acre of more bare metaling to be done at some point, but we'll get to that when the time comes. Right now, I think it's time for a shower. Last bit to do. That side, this side, and the back up to that line, or a little bit higher than that, because that's where the roof liner fits. Remember, I've got that nice black diamond stitched liner. One thing I need to do today is wear a hat. Keeps a lot of the shit out of my hair. But right, small little job quickly. Let's see if we can get this off. Yep, easy enough. Get this out the way for 2 reasons. Most important one is that it doesn't get damaged. I think when it comes to the paint, I'll probably put it back together again, put it back in here and paint it again so that it comes to be the same color as obviously whatever the color is that goes onto the truck. Known as Firestorm Red. It's a Chrysler color. I don't know the full code of it. You can see this one's been broken before, but they managed to reassemble it sufficiently. Come on. I wonder where the cable is for this, where it's wired to. Hopefully I didn't tear this apart when I pulled that cable out there. Maybe I did stupidly do so. Yeah, look who, although saying that, this was connected to something else before, so it'll be a matter of just threading it back in. I'll put a whole new wiring loom to that, take these apart, and then we still have a nice dome light as well. If I can find a new one of these, that'd be brilliant, especially the plastic. The plastic's intact, but it's so yellowed, and you probably find that it's not very efficient in the dark. But that's another day's problem. Right now, quickly mask up and then get going on grinding back the last bit of this. It's a rubbish job, but it's got to be done. All the way up to there, all the way up to there, I guess. That'll be good. Right, back in a moment. He doesn't like cameras, by the way.
I'm tricking him.
So here we have 10 of these half-cupped discs. This is one that I used already. This is a new one. That's what they look like. I bought one of them at Tool Station this week. This one over here, that's done part of the truck's cab, halfway worn, but these are actually not as much fun as I wanted them to be. The vibration that comes through these things is terrible, and I've had others that were much better. But the surprising thing is, having paid £10 or £9 something for this one, a pack of 10 of these was £16, so £1.60 each versus nearly £10. What's that? Factor of 5, just by buying in bulk. But that's kind of my problem, not anyone else's, because ultimately I choose to spend my money wherever I do. It's just that when I needed this one, I didn't have time to piss about, so I ordered these, and they're going to be equally hard on my wrists, etc. while I work, but at least they make life a lot easier than scraping, sanding and all the rest of the processes that you use. So yeah, on to doing a few small bits today, and then hopefully once that's done, I'll finish my coffee, or have a coffee I should say, and relax. There's not a lot that I'm doing today. Need to order in paint primer and cleaners and everything else.